Hey, friendos. We are going to do a Marvel Champions team up off season from some solo Champions Leaguers. We've got Gondo and Greg here with us today. So, Gondo, hello.
Hello, it's good to be back on the microphone.
I love it. And hello, Greg.
Hey all, second time caller, I can't even do it.
Right,
Glad to be here.
right. Love it. So the idea was, so the three of us did one of the episodes of Road to Nowhere and thought it'd be fun to do something else, try a team up. But since we're not in the middle of the season, Gondo floated the idea of us taking a bunch of the results from Greg's tournament of what's it actually called? Grandmasters Arena?
Grandmasters Arena, right.
Competitions.
Yeah.
What do you call the individual things within?
We do individual, tournaments. So we did. I think the three we're going to feature here are most fun hero to play in solo, which is Ant-Man, as you can see. Most best aspect, which is Justice, and then we did best designed encounter set, which Hela ended up winning. Hence the setup right here.
Right. So folks can't see that we have Justice until we scroll down on this thing. And then let me just go down a bit here. So we have we made a shield deck with the double dose of Homeland Intervention and Global Logistics and some of the other shield goodness. We're going to try this out. It's a little slow, which is going to be really a little bit nerve-wracking probably with Ant-Man, since you also need to get set up with Ant-Man. And then we're bringing in, because Hela is a scenario where you can really camp out on the first stage and not do anything, and it doesn't punish you too much. Gondo floated the idea of having some additional things that show up. So we have some custom dice that we've made that have the three kind of relevant icons. So we have an acceleration one, we have a hazard one, and we have the amplify icon. So each turn, while we're on a given one of these side schemes, we'll roll one of these at the start of the turn, and these things will pile up, kind of encouraging us on the side scheme, encouraging us to really get rid of that side scheme and move on to the next stage of the game. And as we go through, we'll let it stall a little bit in terms of how quickly they come in, so that the whole game isn't just that level of pressure, but it's kind of pushing you along, at least get out of that first stage. So that's the big plan for the game. We have the standard encounter sets with this one. Did we do anything else fun?
I think that's it. We're running standard one, expert one with the suggested encounter sets. So it's a pretty standard setup aside from the dice.
Right. So Frost Giants, though, so good.
Yeah, it's a really good encounter set.
Yeah, four boost icons on a few of those cards, so that's danger.
So we'll have to remember that when we're making some decisions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have to forgive Greg. Greg is watching the streamed version of this on Discord, and some of the things may not be quite so visible. Gondo's actually on the TTS and can kind of wander around and look at stuff. So we'll try to figure out our best way of being appropriately patient. Is it side 0? What? Oh no, it's when you actually flip. That's what it is. Okay. So we've got
our hero state 1 and 2.
Yeah, just the hero. So I think on Octagon it's kind of done a slightly different way. That's just what I was confusing it with. So amazing. Right off the bat, we see we have power in all of us with Ironheart, so we can get an ally and a little bit of protection early on. I don't know about any of these Justice cards. I'm not especially inclined to keep them, but maybe one of you two will convince me otherwise. And then Giant Strength seems like worth holding on to. If we can play it, we should, and if we can't, we don't bother. I don't know. What does anybody have to add to that?
I think Giant Strength could be nice because it could give us a clean 4 attack for the Garm we have in play with us right now.
Yeah.
Be nice and efficient on that minion.
Right, and the thing is we can get rid of Garm and not the side scheme too, right? So that's we can move toward finishing this, but kind of still camp out, get a little bit set up, even though the pressure will be building up. Yeah, Greg, I don't know. Do you have any? So if we keep all the 2 gray cards and the giant strength, does that suit you well?
Yeah, I think that's a great plan. Especially because we'll get a draw off to Ironheart too, so that's a great way to start.
Right. Yeah, and I just solo getting an ally out to protect you right off the bat always seems great. We can decide about which way we're going to want to flip and all those other things once we actually see what the rest of this stuff is. Okay, so we got another Homeland Intervention, Sky Destroyer, and Hive Mind. So this really seems like we're going to want to see what pops out of Ironheart. Do we even maybe do that before we flip? Seems like there's no reason to have.
Yeah, there's no reason to. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
No harm in doing it right now.
No harm in doing it right now. Okay.
Decide if to go giant or small or tiny.
Right. Yep. So you two will have to forgive me if this is not how you usually do it. I'm doing it as health on my allies and on the minion. I hope it doesn't scramble your brains.
It's all good.
Also.
Okay. So neither of your preferences, but you're willing to play ball with me. Okay. So what I see here is that based on what we have in our hand, we could actually get out the Sky Destroyer and then play Homeland Intervention if we wanted, and actually use the Sky Destroyer.
Yeah, getting that out early is really good.
The other option is to try to use Giant Strength and Hive Mind. That seems terrible.
Yeah, I don't see Hive Mind being the play here. I guess we still do technically have enough to kill Garm with Ironheart helping out.
Right. So with Ironheart we can. So when we flip, we can ping the tough, and then Ironheart can do 1 damage, and then we can do 3, and then we could even have the further with the Sky Destroyer, right? We still actually have access to some threat removal.
Right.
Plus Homeland Intervention can bring the side scheme down to 1.
Not until we kill Garm.
Oh yes, but yes. But we had our so if we flip and ping off the tough, Ironheart does 1 more damage. Then we do the 3 damage from the attack from Giant Size. We've then defeated Garm, and then we can kind of do the rest of the stuff, right? Sky Destroyer can do 2 damage to Hela if we want, and clean up a little bit of stuff with Homeland Intervention.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to see 5 cards next turn, I don't see Tiny Form being prudent here.
So the issue is with Tiny Form, even though we could use Ironheart to get rid of the tough, we would not have quite enough damage to get rid of Garm, right? There's no. I don't think there's any way.
And we can't utilize the thwarting power of Tiny.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, Greg. Do you see any way that we could do it if we were in Tiny? I don't.
No, yeah, I think you need that strength from being big.
Okay. Off we run. So we flip to Giant Size. We get, after you change this form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. That 1 damage to the enemy will be doing the ping damage on the Garm. Ironheart does the 1 damage, and then Ant-Man attacks for 3, defeating Garm. Garm goes into the victory display, which we'll just shove over here for a nice reminder. And then we can do as suggested and bring the Sky Destroyer in. And then we could do 1 Homeland Intervention. Exhaust up to 3 shields. So I guess to play Homeland Intervention, I was kind of being a bit of a dummy because you have to exhaust the shield card in the first place.
So up to.
Yeah. So if we wanted to remove some threat, I mean. So we can either choose to play this for 2 thwart or 2 damage. basically.
So for the dice, are they going to just stack on top of the scheme until we like? Are they going to keep adding up? Is that how we play it?
Yes.
Yeah, adding onto the side scheme for as long as it stays.
So maybe we take up 2, and that way we can trigger it as soon as we can't take it anymore.
Right. So let's make it so that we're not creating some really new terrible problem for ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that means we're actually going to exhaust the Sky Destroyer to play this and take 2 off there. I think I agree. I don't know, Gondo, do you?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay. So we'll call that the first turn. We'll draw our piddly little hand size of 4. Of course, I've been playing some Spider, so hand size of 3 is the new normal.
Oh, but it's a fantastic hand because it has the best card.
It has the helmet, so I don't know. I think the game's over already. So we'll go over to the villain side. We do the 1+1 there, and then we roll, and we got an amplify icon.
As long as it's
Okay.
not
Ironheart's going to be extra dead.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we'll stack them there for now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get attacked. And so we'll block with Ironheart unless anybody sees something I'm missing.
That's what she's born for.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is these very initial ones where she doesn't, because Hela really does get built up. You know, you could imagine saying, well, maybe you want Ironheart for next time, but it doesn't sound like anybody wants that. Oh, we got the big old 0.
No.
So Ironheart takes 3 damage.
Yes. Ironheart takes some nebulous amount of damage, and since there's overkill, we don't care. And then we get our encounter card. And right off the bat, we got a Frost Giant.
Very nice.
So we got a tough on there.
You ain't that tough, but I stand corrected. It literally is so tough.
Ha ha ha. All right. So that was turn 1. We are now on turn 2. And we are going to want to play the helmet, flip. We'll get a card that we probably can't do anything with.
If it would be resized, that would be huge.
Oh my god, yes. Agreed. But we
can't rely on that though.
No, and so the question is, since we're going to be wanting to get rid of that tough anyway, if we don't come up with anything using the attack from Giant Man's side versus Ant-Man's side doesn't matter. We're just going to want to ping the tough anyway.
I would almost think we clear the main scheme and ping the tough next turn.
Right. Well, I mean, the main scheme's pretty big, but yes, I mean, keeping it under control is obviously good. So we could just really take advantage of being small anyway. Okay, so we've got a helmet.
Yeah, I don't see how that's ever not the play. Welcome to other arguments.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to throw it here because that's where I like to have stuff that gets used every turn, but doesn't tap. So we're flipping.
Flip.
I think so,
okay,
yeah.
So we're down. After you change form, remove 1 threat from a scheme. We want that main scheme because we're not ready to clear this thing yet. And then because we've got the helmet, we get to draw a card. And that card is, in fact, something that we can't do anything with, but we may decide to keep. We'll have to see. And then we have some thwarting. So as Gondo suggested, we might take those 2 off the main scheme.
Or we could just take the tough now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was, if we take the tough now, next turn when we flip, that'll give us access to being able to just defeat him outright. True. That would be the argument, and because this main scheme is really just not that terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I like getting rid of the tough more.
Yeah,
sure. I'm in agreement.
Are we going to keep the government liaison?
It's a way to activate the destroyer, but we may also get other shield cards if we toss it. So it's not.
Well, so I mean I think this still plays out as we're trying to hang out on side one of the, or on stage one of this thing and build up our board as much as we can, but it's going to be way scarier than doing it usually. So then do we still prioritize getting those useful things down on the board?
Right.
Like
or is the Ant-Man kit better than the shield kit for the build?
Well, the Ant-Man kit's definitely better than the shield kit.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's go look at what's in the deck in terms of the government liaison, right? Like, is that really just a kind of a dumb add-on anyway? So we've got Quake, Monica Chang. The two big events don't actually use it anyway. Yeah. Surveillance teams, we try not to play them unless we need to. Helicarrier.
Yeah, I'd say the major targets for that are the allies.
The allies. Agent 13, Mockingbird, Nick Fury, Helicarrier. So that's 4 plus whatever the 2 on the bottom, right? Quake and Monica Chang.
Yep.
That's not a ton of stuff that we need to prioritize it for, honestly. Seems a bit more of a nice to have than a must have.
Yeah, I think I might get rid of it.
Yeah. Greg, you in agreement?
Yeah. That sounds great. Clear the deck for Ant-Man stuff.
Yeah, for the actual useful stuff.
Yeah, we're playing Ant-Man.
That's right. Okay. So let's just have a quick look so we can have a sense of some of our decision making for this upcoming turn. We've got Army of Ants, which is definitely on the high priority list.
Yes.
Right. Chance Encounter is kind of just a nice to have as a way to fish something else back out. So if we could do Helicarrier into Army of Ants.
Oh, right.
That's kind of what I was seeing in this hand.
Mm-hmm. And then not worry about Chance Encounter at all. We can flip up and finish off the Frost Giant. Yeah, that doesn't seem bad at all. And then we've got Army of Ants. We can start picking away at Hela's health.
Yeah, the Helicarrier is better than that shield agent. So.
Yeah. Well, now we're delighted with our decision.
Right.
All right. So start of the villain turn, we get 2, and then we're going to roll another one of these things. We're just going to collect the amplify. We're going to collect the amplify icons, and we're about to get hit. So her base attack at the moment is 2+2, because it's only side schemes in the victory display, so not minion. So she's got 4.
Could be 6 if we have another boost card somewhere in the deck. I don't know if that exists.
Yeah. Well, let's look at these numbers. So when we play the Helicarrier, we can use a Sky Destroyer to do 2 here. We can do 1 with Army of Ants, and then we can get 1 from the flipping. So we actually don't need our activation. We could very reasonably decide to block it to take it down by 2, or we could keep that, help that with threat management later, and just know we're going to take a bunch of damage, and then the helmet can help us out. We're not getting out a blocker this next turn either.
Right. I guess the question is, does a second attack kill us?
Well, I mean, the second attack we could choose to block if we don't block the first still. And then we also have the giant hitting us.
Yeah, if we get a second attack, that's base 11, which isn't good news for us.
We'll
base
pick
11
the giant
2
out,
boosts.
right? By then, by the attack. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
we're entering it.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, I forgot we haven't done the villain phase yet.
Yeah. So we're only really in trouble if we block, like if we do get a second attack, and then we have an opportunity to block at that point. Right?
Right. At which point it might not be enough anyway.
Right. None of that will, like, if we get a second attack, it won't actually change our net amount of damage. We'll block on either the first or the second anyway.
Yeah.
So then we just hope and not bother until the second one. Yeah. Is everybody for that?
Health is a resource, right?
Well,
so let's leverage.
Health is a resource.
Well, I was just about to ask, what do we do with our activation if we don't block? In this case,
Keep the threat.
Just damage Hela.
Or keep the threat under control.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want it to get too far
effort.
away from us, but
We could also get another minion, and having some attack would help.
that is a good point. If we do get another minion, we won't be able to clean it up. I guess some of the Legions of Hell stuff's maybe clean upable.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Greg. There you go. I like your future thinking. So we're gonna react with our activation based on what shows up as the encounter card.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so here it comes. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
good. Hey, only 3.
Okay, so 7
only
damage.
7 damage.
Okay, and then Frost Giant does 3.
So we should be at 2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And place 1 threat on the main scheme, 1 additional threat on the main scheme for each side scheme of the victory display. Okay. That is.
And we make it through the villain phase.
Not a bad.
That is
not a bad card.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. Okay.
Whew, that was lucky.
Okay, so we are going to thwart this thing down. Bring out the helicarrier, which allows us to
discussed. Yep.
Allows us to do 2 damage there. We will then bring out the Army of Ants. With the helicarrier and the Army of Ants, does a ping damage there. Then we jump up to giant size. After you change this form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Okay, so that takes care of the Frost Giant, and then we get to heal 2 whole health. Thank you, Helmet. And then that's it.
Yep, that's
no further decision making.
That's a giant Ant-Man turn, or I guess that's even a small Ant-Man turn.
All right. So we got to resize.
Ooh, resize and pim particles. We're going to be healing.
Okay, that's good. So we just have to survive this turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty fantastic hand if we make it through.
A big if. Okay, so we get 2 threat because of here. We're gonna go grab another one of these things.
Oh man.
Oh,
Let's get an acceleration icon.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna click it while it's in the air. 1, 2. Oh no, hold on. I'm clicking it while it's in the air. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Oh, what?
Still. Okay, this was side 6 though this time.
Oh, it's different. Yeah, the other ones are side 1.
Yeah, side 1, side 1, side 6. Okay,
It's
so
a
we
unique result.
I don't know.
Oh, so what?
We can't not defend.
Yeah,
We can't not defend.
Yeah.
We literally have no choice. Okay, so we're going to defend for 3. That takes these 3 off, so she's got a base of 2. If she gets 2, we're done. 1.
We're in business.
Whoa!
Okay.
Give me them pims.
All right. Now we've got an encounter card, and it is
A side scheme.
But we got a surge though.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's not good. I was excited for a second. I forgot it surged.
Let's just give a hand. The gang up was the one we used for the icon, which is that would have killed it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we deal an encounter card, and oh my gosh, that is so lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we get rid of the Sky Destroyer? Sky Destroyer? Or ants? Like we're going to be able to trigger ants more often than Sky Destroyer.
Yeah. The loss aversion.
Oh, that hurts.
Already hurts, yeah, because of how much you pay for it. But yeah, you're right. I think you can trigger the army more.
Yeah, you can definitely trigger army every turn. All right, it's the Sky Destroyer.
Right, that's fine.
That's so
you know,
sad.
it's an encounter card that only cost us 4 resources net. That's fine. No worries. Okay, so I guess we start with resize because that's going to get us 2 cards, right?
Yep.
That's the very first thing we do.
Yep.
So then we actually see what we can do.
Yeah, then we still have the opportunity to stun if we want, because we'd have our natural change form.
Right. Is this going to be a turn that we actually consider advancing into the next thing?
Yeah,
These amplify icons are really starting to weigh on us.
They're killing us.
We can't survive without it. Yeah, I think we have to move.
But then the issue is, I mean, we'll see what we draw, but then the issue is we have to deal with Scourge, right?
All right. Should we flip down to Scott? Like ping it off, but then
go
to Scott and heal and maybe recover.
So we're going to get an amplify icon from this side scheme, which I'm not going to pronounce, coming in, and then Scourge. So at this point, let's just say we were staying in hero form. Scourge is bringing 3 attack. I mean, we could actually potentially clear it, yeah. But Scourge is bringing 3 attack to replace these 3 amplify icons. So there's kind of some net the sames, but let's actually see what these cards we are.
Actually, there's no way we're killing him because we're not ready. Technically.
That's a great point. Okay, so we played resize to resize, so this is the free one, and then we get the helmet, so we get 2 cards.
Ooh,
Mockingbird.
Okay, so
we need to do something with our 1 threat from the scheme.
Oh yeah, thank you. Right, so
I guess we technically committed a small infraction by seeing these 2 cards. We should have only seen 1.
Response. Well,
because in response to the first sentence of resize.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, well then let's have done it on the main scheme so that we aren't actually making any decisions.
It would have to be Legions of Hell in that case. It is a
Good call. Okay.
We can still potentially decide to use Mockingbird on the side scheme to clear it.
Yeah. So we have Pim particles, Mockingbird can get us out of 2 attacks. So I think that takes the urgency on finishing it off this turn away. We could get back up to big and heal a bit.
Yep.
The global logistics, we can also be setting stuff up, obviously.
Yep.
Do we keep...
We could advance it then do global logistics to give us a really good transition turn, if that's something.
Oh yeah, right.
So we do get an extra encounter card.
Well, does that make it the turn that we
want
other?
To... Oh, so we don't get an extra counter card. I've only played this 2-player. My bad.
Right when the new stuff comes in. Or sorry, when the old one gets defeated, you get deal each other player card. Yeah. So we bring out. I guess we play Helicarrier, Global Logistics, and Pim Particles for Mockingbird to get a card. Well, except for then we have to use Mockingbird for Global Logistics.
Yeah,
right? Or we use
right? Do we need her instead of just pinging Hela, right? There's no minion.
So if we want to clear that scheme, we have.
The other one. Yeah, I see it.
If we
we could potentially be forced to use her to block if we get another attack.
Well, but so this turn, if we actually want to use global logistics, we have to save Mockingbird's activation or save the Helicarrier.
Correct.
Which maybe saving the helicarrier is actually better because then we can still use her to do whatever it is we want to do, like clearing. Either if we want to advance it or clear that one off Legions of Hell, both of those seem worth using her activation. We use helicarrier.
I'm thinking I don't want to see Scourge
Just
turn.
Yeah, I mean, you could play. I mean, you're giving up risk gauntlets that way, but I think that is an efficient way to use those cards, right? You use Wrist and a Global Logistics and a PIM for Mockingbird, and then you use the helicarrier to fuel the other copy of Global Logistics.
And then we can use Global Logistics to make sure we're not actually in trouble this
Yeah,
turn.
exactly. So you have a stun and a blocker, and you've edited the deck.
We could get a hazard icon, so we would want to seed the cards knowing that we could get a hazard icon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so that means we want to use our PIM particles when we're in big to heal, right?
Yeah, I probably want to get off of 1 HP as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
All right. Okay, so that means the first thing we do is Army Advance before we flip, right?
Yep.
And then we actually flip because we want to. So we flip after you change to this form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Then we get to heal 2. Then we play Mockingbird for 1, 2, 3, and a stun. And we're going to pay Risk Gauntlets, Global Logistics, and one of the PIM particles, which gets us another 2 heal. And then we can use Helicarrier to pay for Global Logistics. And we got to
Excellent.
look at these, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Greg, I'll zoom in.
Thanks.
And we'll see what we got here. So
Bearing
we
in mind
have...
that she's stunned.
Yes. So we've got unnatural. So the first 2 things we put are our guaranteed encounter card and our possible encounter card if we have a hazard icon.
Get exhaustion out of here.
Yeah.
There's no attacks. There's no attacks in this bunch, so we can't even set it up as a boost.
Yeah. So that's right. So that do you want to put it on the bottom of the deck or just in the discard?
Oh, I forget you can put it at the bottom of the deck. I always just get rid of it.
I mean, it's never good, right? It's a and effect, not a replacement.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it's kind of bad. Now, do we want this to grab an ally? No, that's kind of stinky, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't cry about Unnatural Storm being an encounter card if that's the second one.
Right. So then, do we ditch Fallen Warrior as well? Then just completely.
Yeah, perhaps. And
I
put
don't like
Jogger on
seeing
top.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's fairly mild.
Yeah. Agree with that too.
Especially on this one, we're taking 1 threat of the main scheme is just not an actual scary.
Since she's stunned, we could have the side scheme be the first one that comes out, and then because the boost icon on the back card is only 1.
Well, we're not going to see a boost icon.
In case
or anything.
It could be a boost icon
That's
next turn.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
From now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
if we get a hazard icon, we get them both. But if we don't get a hazard icon, we'll just get the side scheme. And we have a lighter.
As a boost.
So if we only see one of these, I think Draugr is the one we'd rather just see the one of. Because
we don't
have a lot for
allies.
allies.
I see what you're saying, because I didn't see hero as part of that. It was just ally.
Yeah. I think I like if we only get one of these. I think I like Draugr better.
I think so.
That makes sense.
All right. Okay. So, have we missed anything? We actually do the Mockingbird activation we've been discussing, and clear this thing. And it does not have victory, so it just goes there. Right? We decided we're not advancing this turn.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see Scourge right now.
Right. Well, and because of the way we've padded this, right, that buys us another turn with all this nonsense. Okay. So 1, 2. Oh, we got to draw our hand. Okay, we've got Fury that we can afford. We got Fury that we can afford after we resize. Or with Hela carrier. Whatever. Oh, actually, we could do.
Carrier.
If we
resize and Hela carrier to
if we
Fury
flip
and
down,
Quake.
yeah. If we flip down, we're actually going to get the extra card, so we can actually do Nick Fury and Monica Chang potentially with resize. Whew, okay. It was a little scary for our heroes, but I think
we're in business.
Things are feeling a little more stable. Okay, so we already added the 2. She goes to attack, but she's stunned, so it doesn't happen. Oh, we forgot.
Oh, we didn't draw our.
We did not.
Do our die.
We did not. Okay, so I'm going to just click this once. Yeah?
That makes sense.
Okay. So we got an acceleration icon. So that's 1 more. Okay. And then
we'll get a Grrreg.
We get a Grrreg. So
that's awesome.
1, 2, 3, and 1 threat, right?
Yep.
We're not even considering taking the damage.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so this is probably a good turn to advance.
Yes.
Agreed.
With Nick Fury, another Mockingbird activation, Army Advance, Ant-Man activation, we've got a lot going for us right now.
Yeah, we're do we? What's his?
He's got 5.
Scourge is 5 and toughness. So
that's really annoying for the. Actually, no, we could still do the.
Mockingbird could. So, like, one way we could do this is Mockingbird. We could do it now, right? Oh, but no, then we have to get rid of the threat, so we can't do that. And the. Oh, but when I guess we'll flip back. We're flipping back, so we can attack Scourge later.
Yep.
Yes.
We might have to let the Grrreg live. We might have to let the Grrreg live.
Yeah. Which
is fine.
I guess a sacrifice we must make for now.
Okay, so we're going to resize. That's going to be the very first thing we do. Correct?
Yeah, there's nothing I'm doing big right now.
I'm not off base.
Nope, I don't see anything in big.
The 6 points for Scourge is Mockingbird, Army Advance, 1 for flipping back, and 3 from Big Scott. Yeah, it's
well, and we're going to.
I was thinking Army Advance, Nick Fury.
Oh, and then we have 2 from Nick.
I was thinking if Army Advance, Nick Fury, Ant-Man would. Kill Scourge.
Okay, so we flip down to small. Let's do this in the correct order. So this one comes out later. After you change this form, remove 1 threat from a scheme. At this point, we're going to get rid of this one and get rid of all of our dice, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is going into the victory display. When defeated, first player gets those things out, puts them into play, deal each other player, so that's not us. And then these things are out of there. This one comes in, and we get hinder 1, so this has 4. We get Scourge.
I think I always played that one. I always give myself an encounter card and Scourge.
Yes, I think I've also done the exact same thing.
I think I've done that too.
And so that was the first effect of changing size. The second effect, oh no, that was the first effect of changing size. The second effect of changing size is we're getting a card. Oh, nice. The third effect of changing size is
the second sentence of resize.
The second sentence of resize, which is another card. All right. Ooh. One moment too late, but that's fine.
Hey, there's still 2 more side schemes.
So then Nick Fury, Strength, Hela Carrier, and Quake to bring up Fury?
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
Because then we can float. Skilled Investigator might be something we play just because.
Yep.
If we need to. Okay.
Agreed.
And then, sorry, we activated Mockingbird, didn't we?
No, we did not. We used.
Oh no, we did it for flipping. Right. Thank you. That's why it's good to have teammates here. Oops. Ignore the person controlling the computer. So that was 4, right?
Yep.
Fury
You're
gets 3. 1, 2, 3. And we get our 3 cards. And we are just about all the way through the deck.
Whoa!
We got 3 particles.
Ants. Yeah, Ants.
Oh my god.
I always like to chant it when I get
Whoa!
Oh. Okay.
What do you do about that?
So if we pin particles, we have 6 resources right now.
Right.
So I guess we consider if we actually do only 1 army advance and a Monica Chang. I guess that's really what we're thinking about, right?
She brings out surveillance team, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we can chip away at the 4. Or actually, we're at 9
Well,
main, so we actually got to think about threat a little bit.
I actually think even with Army Advance and Monica Chang, we can clear both minions.
Yeah. Making sure we have some shield stuff down to power some of those shield events, right? Those are pretty powerful. I think I kind of like Monica Chang more than getting the double army advance out.
Because the surveillance team can chip away at the main because we're getting a little dicey on that one.
See, what do we have in our discard? Is it only strength for double resource?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So we're fairly low on our deck. I think we've only seen 1 double resource. This could easily be double resource.
And powered all of us, but yes, you're correct. So
I was mostly talking about paying for Monica Chang and also getting skilled investigator.
Right. So we'll army advance with pin particles first, then. Right. We're not going to try to use pin particles later for health. We'll do it now for a card draw.
Yeah, so we can pay for her.
Okay.
Oh well.
So did not, but it means we're going to have a pretty healthy hand when we go up to big. Okay. So then, do we all like the Monica Chang play then?
Yeah. Having a surveillance team out could be nice. We've been kind of ignoring the main scheme up until now.
We sure have.
It's getting close.
Okay, so that's 1.
In my head it was 12, but it's 18. I'm now pulling up the cards on my other screen so I can see them more closely. Okay, a little less work.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So before we flip, of course, we'll army advance.
Oh, we need to resolve Monica Chang's response.
Oh, thank you. Oh, hey, so do we go get, because there's a second one, do we go get it? And then I think we've only seen 1. Oh, no, we've seen both. Okay, never mind.
I thought we only saw 1 as well for what it's worth.
But technically we can still look at this deck just to make sure we understand what's in here.
We're about to be rich next turn.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shame that Nick Fury's going to be in the discard pile at the start of a deck pass.
I know.
That's a bummer.
Okay. So surveillance team has 4 counters on it because Monica Chang gives 1 extra. All right, and then we ping. So we do 1. We're going to get 1 damage from flipping, and then we can attack for 3. So we just do 1 more ping here, right?
Yep.
And then Mockingbird and McFury can take care of the Grrreg if we want, and Monica Chang can help us start getting this thing under control.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Okay. Did we miss anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So we flip to big. Flipping to big heals us.
Oh, I don't think we've given Hela her 3 hit points yet for the side schemes in the victory display.
That's the thing we haven't done. Thank you. All right. In mid stride, I was adding 2 health, but I did not add any actually, right? We were at 5?
Yeah, we were at 5.
Okay, so we get our 2 health. We get our ping damage, which I did that. No, I didn't. Okay, there we go. And then Ant-Man can attack. Scourge comes on over here. Mockingbird and Nick Fury each attack. Grrreg goes, Monica Chang and the surveillance team take this down by 2. We know what our hand is. I think we're good.
Yeah, that was a fantastic turn.
That was very Ant-Man-y. And then we're going to get our extra encounter card here.
Oh, we're going to exhaust all our allies at some point, so...
Oh, this turn, jeez. Okay.
Yep, our first encounter card is exhausting all our allies.
There was an excellent reason why we might have wanted to do it the other way, right?
We only had
we didn't
before,
really have much for allies last time. Yeah. Okay. Well, you
live
and you learn, and you still make the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, maybe we should have looked at how many cards we would have gone through, and if we had to get that as an encounter card, but it's too late now.
Yeah. Well, okay. So villain turn. Right now she's back on 1, but we gotta roll one of these again. Oh no, we're doing a stall. 1 turn stall, right?
Right. We said 1 turn for the second stage and two for the third, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she just gets her 1. This is an amplify icon. I'm not missing any acceleration icons anywhere.
Nope.
Okay. And then she goes to attack, and then Fury, the effervescent, will jump in the way.
Yep. No arguments here.
Legions of Hell take out Nick Fury, but turns out he'll be back. And then we get our 2 encounter cards. First encounter card. Oh.
Oh no, who could have ever seen this coming?
Oh my. Okay. Heroes exhaust each ally in play.
Ant-Man's not an ally, he's a hero.
Is it just here? It is. Sorry, I thought it was heroes and allies, but it's just we can't.
Card effects can't ready him presently.
Got it. And then take 1 indirect damage, take 1 additional indirect damage for each side scheme in the victory display. There's 1. So I think Ant-Man can happily take those and let the allies survive.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Look at poor Clint and Natasha are so chilly. Cap is just like, no problem. That's a really funny.
You know, I haven't actually looked at the art of that before.
They clearly didn't know they were going
That's
there.
Really
they would have brought, furs.
No.
They would have brought winter coats.
No, and yeah, Clint could have stood some longer sleeves for the mission, I think.
I feel like this turn is awfully self-explanatory. There's not much you can do here.
We are going to get card draw, though.
Yeah, I was thinking you'd probably giant stomp using a double resource and helicarrier. You'd end up flipping over and using the surveillance team to get rid of the bad side scheme. And you probably put followed on the scenario side scheme. Then you'd kick her over to wounded with the army advance.
Oh, there's the whole thing of actually flipping her. What a thing. Okay, so Greg, do you like we start with giant stomp, use one of our double resources, our helicarrier.
I like that.
I
haven't done the math. We've got 10, but it sounds like we do with giant stomp.
Yeah, giant stomp and 2 ants is easiest.
Well, and then we're still sitting on followed, which we can put on.
I was thinking we'd put it on Galler Brew, if I said that correctly.
I mean, that sounded pretty good. So do 1 damage to each minion, there are none, and then 8 damage. Okay, so we're gonna play Helicarrier and Genius, and we giant stomp, and that's 8.
Yeah, then we're probably using our basic activation to thwart the main scheme precautionarily.
Yeah, so we flip down. The first thing that happens when we flip down is we remove 1 threat from a scheme, and we'll take care of this.
Yep. Surveillance team will be the next one.
And then we'll take care of that, but we got to get our card from flipping before we do any actual activations. Okay, global logistics. That is sweet.
Yeah.
Wait. Do we then do surveillance team? Interesting.
Yeah, we could, because the allies will still ready, because it's just player card effects that can't ready them. So they can still block for us.
But, oh, it's only player card effects. Oh, interesting. I didn't even.
Yeah, you don't really usually think about that because they're exhausted. Then you get rid of it,
Yeah.
and then you never have a second turn with it.
So we can avoid actually bothering to clear this thing, suck up an Ant-Man activation to be able to actually use the global logistics.
Yeah. I like determining our encounter cards.
Yeah, it does feel so good. Okay, so 1/2, we flip her. Unfortunately, she has no attachments, so that doesn't feel quite as good as it can. And then we're going to play followed on.
Oh, are we going to flip her right back with getting rid of Unnatural Storm? Or do we want to do it in a slightly different order?
Oh, sorry, does...
This is after A side scheme is defeated.
Oh, is it only A side scheme? I thought it was one of the main ones. Thank you. No, I think you're right. I think before we...
Yeah.
Good reading.
That's what the team up's for.
Right. So we do... Yeah, I think we don't want to flip her back right away.
No, that'd be foolish.
So we get rid of that.
What's the point of flipping her in the first place if we do it that way?
Okay. Then we flip. Oh, go all the way around. 1, 2. Now we flip her. Then we put followed on this thing. And then we global logistics. We do not have a lot of shield cards, really. I mean, we do.
Seem as a good fodder for it right now.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll zoom in for Grrreg in a moment.
It's funny. I'm running my cards and pulling them out so I can take a look at them more closely. It's like.
Right. So we got Frozen, which forces us to go to Alter Ego, often bad. She's not stunned this time. Fallen Warrior, which we'll probably want to get rid of. That little bit of threat from Hela's Domain is not scary, is maybe the activation that we actually want.
Yeah, so we're seeing a boost and 1, maybe 2 encounter cards.
Yeah.
I like Frost Giant as a boost. That's very benign because we're going to use a blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hela's Domain is the main encounter card.
Yep. Makes sense to me.
Do we ditch these two and just not know what's going on?
Frozen's so tough because it forces us to go Alter Ego.
We're pretty built and we're going to Giant, so we wouldn't really have a problem with dealing with an extra minion. And then if that were to be a boost next turn, that wouldn't be the worst thing to happen.
So the Fallen Warrior.
I think we're built up enough that Fallen Warrior isn't going to hurt us too much.
Our allies are not that tough. Our allies,
because Nick Fury's in our discard right now.
Yeah. Okay. So that is.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So. Check. I think everything's good. We've exhausted everything. Did we? This wasn't a resize turn, right? So we're actually going to draw a hand size of 5.
Right.
Right.
Okay, got our government liaison again. Wasp, who's really good at cleaning up messes. Couple giant strengths. That's okay. We got some stuff we can do. Okay, so now we're back on the dice train. Okay, we got an acceleration icon. So we've got 2. She doesn't have any of her bonuses from all her stuff. She's just going to attack for +1 from the amplify icon. And who do we want to have in the discard if we might get them back? Probably Mockingbird, a little bit higher priority than Monica Chang.
I'd agree with that. Although they're both probably going to be in the discard before we ever shuffle again.
Yeah, agreed. Well, but don't we have do we have any ways of getting anything out of the discard? The whatchamacallit, not followed, but the other one. Doesn't it get out of the discard?
Counter is deck and discard.
Oh, okay. Oh, your brain works a lot better than mine. I cannot
Yeah.
remember the names of any cards. Greg's old like me. He can't remember anything either. Stun that character. Okay, so ironically,
stunned. Whatever will we do?
Ironically, Mockingbird has managed to get stunned in this adventure. And then we get an encounter card, which we already know what it is. Place one threat on the main scheme, place one additional threat on the main scheme for each side scheme in the victory display. And there is one whole side scheme in the victory display. That's a turn.
It is indeed a turn.
All right, so we're still not in the point where we're trying to push through this second stage yet, really. We do want to get that main scheme under control, obviously. So it's kind of the different. We still have a blocker in the form of Monica Chang, so it's, we can get Wasp and Giant Strength out this turn.
That's kind of what I'm seeing in this hand.
What else could you do? I mean, you could Government Liaison and get out a Surveillance Team, and you would still have enough to get a Giant Strength. So I guess that's the other thing you could do. You could get Government Liaison, Giant Surveillance Team, and a Giant Strength. But Wasp is going to...
Do you have enough for that?
Well, if you... Am I miscounting? Right? If you...
Helicarrier and Giant Strength for Government and Wasp for Surveillance, then you have nothing left for Giant.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so forget it. Or do you want two Giant Strengths? Just forget everything else.
Well, if we're talking about getting the main scheme under control, I see Wasp for sure.
Yeah, Wasp's fourth this turn.
Because we don't have anything to hit with the Giant. Yeah.
We have nothing to hit.
Yeah, exactly 0 things to hit.
I like it. So we'll keep... So she comes out for 3. When she comes out, she takes 2 threat. Gets her health and will activate to take that down by 2. Then we activate to take it down by 2. We army advance. Never. We surveillance team. Oh, I don't know why that keeps happening. Down by 1.
Do we want to chip on the side scheme just to get it low so when we're ready to advance it?
I was wondering about that because 3 is a pretty nice number. Because we're going to be flipping the small next turn.
Right. Right, so that's just totally
that's 1, and then we have a couple ways to do 2.
Yeah, I like it. We also will need to double check the timing of when defeated versus response.
I can try and pull that up.
Because we might be able to use followed to ping
the tough. That's probably more Hela's elf.
Or we can just hit Hela, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to use followed on a tough.
And looking ahead.
At the same time, it's...
I was going to say, looking ahead, that minion, that third minion, Nidhogg, has overkill and 4 hits for 4. So we should probably have a plan for it as soon as we flip it.
Right. So we flip to big. We do 1 damage to nothing. We get 2 health. We get an extra attack for nothing. Okay. So we're all good?
Yep.
All right, resize.
Oh wait, follow would definitely go after when defeated because it's a response to when defeated.
Right, makes sense. Okay, so...
We need to die?
We gotta get a die. All right, our first one. Finally got a hazard icon. I mean, I'm celebrating only because I'm excited to finally see that extra 33% thing happen. So we get 2 of those.
Yep.
She is going to attack, and we will throw Monica Chang in the way so we can get an extra activation out of Wasp.
Sensible.
There's nothing else going on anywhere that contradicts that. All right, we knew what that was, actually. And then we get 1 whole encounter card plus another whole encounter card for our bonus. All right, it's paying off. Nice. Great idea, Gondo.
Yeah, now we definitely have to get rid of this side scheme.
Well,
So we can giant
yeah,
stomp
probably.
the big snake.
Yeah, giant stomp is nice.
Okay, so each player must choose to either discard the upgrade or support they control with the highest cost, or take damage equal to the total number of upgrades and supports they control.
So we discard Helicarrier, take 6 damage.
Yeah, I think thankfully we have a Helicarrier to protect our helmet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's another
Right.
4 resource costing encounter card, our second one of the game. Nice.
Oh.
Oh, I don't mind that actually. But I mean, it might slow us down a turn,
Yeah.
but 4th threat
you
is
can't snake the giant
there's worse
unless you
outcomes.
hold it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really need to use the giant stomp this turn. We got everything right. Okay, so
Yeah.
and we're gonna go back and up anyway, so we can just resize and then go from there. Kind of our standard modus operandi. So we flip down. First thing we do is remove a threat from the scheme. Are we gonna do the side scheme?
I think so, yeah. The
And
hazard icon
then-
makes it a pretty high priority at this point.
And then we get a card. All right.
we
Got
get
that.
another card.
So that was now the other card. Okay. Unfortunately, we lost the thing that synergizes with Agent 13 reasonably well.
I still think we
power
take her,
evolve
though.
us, right? That's the only target for that.
Yeah.
So we have Ant-Man for 2, Agent 13 for 2, Wasp for 2.
Ant-Man for 2.
So we can definitely clear the side scheme if we want. Based on what we have, we'll just have the 1 card left over, so we just throw Chance Encounter down for shits and giggles, I guess.
She also has a lot of health, so if we want a soak against the overkill minion, overkill minion.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna flip back up, so we'll also have
Right,
really good defense this turn.
I was also thinking you hold Giant Stomp to whack through maybe Nidhogg next turn instead of.
Oh, actually,
doing-
just holding it.
Right,
Oh, that's
right.
yeah.
Counter.
Not just being willy-nilly with playing cards just because you can. Huh. What a thought.
Not in all my days.
So, but we do like the idea of just actually advancing this.
Because we
Yeah, we'll have 2 allies.
one with a lot of health, and we have a defense.
Yeah, we'll have 9 health, 2 allies. Hall of Nostrand has a hazard icon too. That's
Oh,
annoying.
right, we wouldn't. Yeah, we could also roll another hazard icon this turn.
We could
Because
also
we're getting
roll another hazard
2
icon.
free
This is
turns
true.
without rolling
Every
anything
turn,
in
actually.
advance, right? So at least we have a little bit of respite from dice.
Right.
I'm not a
So
fan of this side scheme as it stands right now.
you really want to advance to the 3rd stage.
I just don't really see what else we do.
I
Really.
like that plan.
If we just take the main scheme
You also
to 0,
lose the acceleration
basically.
token. There's other benefits.
All right.
And we can ping the tough with Army Advance at the very least.
So
It'll be
the
tiny.
that's right. I think the fact that we're going to have a 2-turn break from the dice is actually like everything else seems kind of even for me, but it's actually saving us from adding a die. That's right. We're in exchange we're grabbing a
and
fairly
Hela's
big minion.
flips back too, right?
Which we have
And
an
we're
immediate
Right,
answer
'cause
for.
blockers.
Well, we have
Yes.
an immediate answer for the minion.
Okay, so we're gonna get a heal. Okay, so
I guess not immediate. He gets to attack us, but a plan anyway.
so the plan is we're gonna bring out Agent 13 for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And she is very healthy. And we go 1, 2, 3 to clear this thing, which is going to go, and we go through its when defeated stuff. So the first player reveals Hall of Nastrond and Nidhogg. So this thing has 5. And Nidhogg has 6 toughness, overkill, 4 attack.
Hela will flip back over.
Forced response. So that's actually the first thing. Do forced responses happen before? Well,
yeah, that would happen before followed. It's forced out.
Okay, so force response goes, there's 2 in there, so now she is at 9 plus 6. 15. These clear. We have that. Followed goes.
I don't see that being worth it on the tough.
Because we have the army of ants, right? So
yeah.
Well, hold on though. If we you're just wanting to do giant stomp on Nidhogg anyway though, right?
I was imagining that, but maybe there's a way that can go on Hela. It seems like maybe a little bit too much for next turn.
It depends what we draw, I guess.
Well, so if we do army of ants, Nidhogg will be down to 5. If we put followed on, it would be 4. Giant stomp would be 3, and then Ant-Man can clear Nidhogg on his own.
Yeah.
And the giant stomp could hit Hela.
Yeah, because we're also flipping over to giant. So Nidhogg could be down to 4, and Hela could be at 11.
Or we could just actually ignore all the Nidhogg stuff, knowing that Giant Stomp can just take care of him completely anyway, because it does a 1 damage to minion, and then 8 damage. But it's probably better in case we have higher priority stuff for our resources. Maybe not banking on having to use Giant Stomp for that is probably the right thing to do. Right, like so set ourselves up so we know. But if we end up getting exhausted on our turn, relying on that attack, we can really get ourselves in trouble, right?
Yeah. Well, at the very least, exhaustion is in the discard pile.
Right.
Yeah. So do we bank on Giant Stomp actually being kind of the solution that we're gonna want to use? That one's less. Is that the only thing that can exhaust you?
We also have frozen.
Can't ready, so you get.
Or is that just can't ready?
Yeah.
I don't remember if that exhausts you right away.
That's right. Yeah, right there.
Which one? Yeah, and then each ally. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's anything that will force us to exhaust. So then maybe we don't have to worry about that, and we can actually get Nidhogg down to striking range.
Yeah, maybe.
Or are we going to really be desperate for getting rid of threat?
Hmm.
So are we deciding, would we put followed on Nidhogg, or is that even an option? Or is this for...
That's part of it, yeah. I mean, I think it's like where we could really waste some damage, but I think we can set it up so that we are going to be able to hit Nidhogg anyway, because we've got the army advance, we got the
flip damage.
We got the flip damage.
We have the minion damage from Giant Stomp.
Yeah. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We do army advance for the tough. We do army advance for that.
And I think we surveillance team the side.
Yeah, like that.
Because then the last charge next turn, the flip to small and Agent 13 could knock that out after we kill Nidhogg.
So we flip up to big, do 1 more damage to an enemy.
Yep.
And heal 2. We now have more attack that doesn't do anything, and unfortunately I have to take that. We might take Agent 13 with the Nidhogg. Okay. So, and we're keeping Giant Stomp.
Yeah. Huh.
Probably doesn't change our mind that much.
If we had the Helicarrier, we could get Ironhead out, but we don't.
Yeah. If and only. Okay, so that was only the first turn. So
yeah, this is the first turn of this.
Okay, so I'm going to put this one just over here just to keep track of that. And then there's just the one regular of those. And I think that's it and how we're going to get attacked. And we're going to throw Wasp in front.
Yep.
Yes.
And always good to see.
7 damage to Wasp. Oh wait, no, that's only 6. Sorry.
Okay, so now the question is, do we just take the Nidhogg? Probably just take the Nidhogg, right?
I think we take it. Because if we get a second attack from the encounter cards, I think we'll use Agent 13 on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, take the known. Okay, so we're going to get 1 for regular, 1 from there. We've got another couple turns before we draw an extra one elsewhere.
Oh.
All right. Villain attacks. Good call. And
I kind of wish that didn't happen, but
so we're going to throw Agent 13 in front?
Yeah, because otherwise we have to, I think
yeah, it's base 4. I'd rather use Agent 13's activation than that one's. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that
Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
No, you can discard him. It's okay.
Ha ha ha. That he had 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
Sorry, that was Agent 13. And then that was intense. Okay, Hela schemes. That's fun. Oh no.
Well,
Hela
we should
attacks.
have before boost icon.
Never mind. Okay. Okay, so we are going to block this time.
Yep.
For 3, she has 2 plus her 2, so she's up 4. Plus 1 is 5. Minus 3 is 2, and there's a extra threat or something shows up. Place 1 threat on each side scheme.
That was the right order. Yeah,
Okay.
3 attacks.
Yeah, that was undesirable.
Undesirable. Undesirably says. Okay. So now this is where we got ourselves in a little bit of trouble with our giant stomp, but not a lot. Can we? We can actually, instead of giant stomp, we could actually do Ironheart and Quake.
You're right.
And the 2 ants to take out the minion. Well, Ironheart's extra. Ironheart does something else, but
Given the current HP situation, I think that might be.
that's going to give us 2 blockers and and we're going to get rid of a minion. And
yeah,
we're not. There's kind of no clean way to deal with the threat to get rid of that side scheme right now because we're tapped.
Especially not since we need to get rid of Nidhogg first.
So, is there any reason to do Ironheart before or after? I think maybe after, in case we get a double resource or something that changes our mind, or a resize or something that might change our mind.
Well, if it's a resize or something quick anyway, we're just going to end in big form.
Right, but could we, if we get a resize, can we afford giant stomp? Not quite.
Oh,
okay. I'm gonna flip to small first. Is that cool?
Yeah, there's nothing for us in big right now. I don't think we're using giant stomp.
Okay, so we flip to small. We get to remove 1 threat from a scheme, and so we got response and response. So we can actually draw the card first. We can choose that.
Yep, I like seeing the card first.
And then okay, so we do actually have enough to do a few things. But anyway, and then at this point, I guess we want to get rid of this as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
This thing is not totally threatening to pop yet.
Yeah, I think we want to set up to get rid of that next turn.
From it until we deal with Snaky. I just looked that up, yeah.
Oh. Boink.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you. So then...
Oh, we should have 1 more on Hall of Nostrand and 1 fewer on the main scheme.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Surveillance team on it last turn.
Okay. All right. Cleaned up. We've cleaned up our mess.
Maybe we'll make it through with no rules mistakes.
Yeah, fat chance. So we're gonna Ironheart, Pim Particles, and something. I guess probably Giant Stomp, and then we can just use Skilled Investigator, or do we want to keep the Giant Stomp? It doesn't feel like we really need to at this point.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I'm with you there.
So Giant Stomp, Pim Particles, hero response after you spend this card. So that's the first thing that happens because we spend it before she hits. Oh, I guess we could have just, we might have wanted to heal with the Pim Particles, but there's nothing that's going to
no, we didn't see it until after we flipped.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, now there's a resize.
Okay, that's fine. We're going to get to heal. And then we get a card from her. Ooh.
Ooh.
The surveillance team, right?
We don't have like any shield cards.
Yeah.
Well, with Army Advance Resai is Quake, we can take care of Nidhogg.
Yeah, we're going to be able to ping, so we can actually use Ironheart to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, yeah, right? So we could have Quake to exhaust with Homeland and Intervention.
So if we do our 2 Army Advance, right?
Yep, I'm with you.
And then we can resize.
Yep.
Ping, Ironheart does the damage. Oh, but then we want to bring out. Oh, we get another card when we draw Quake, right? So that's right. Okay, so now we resize. So we just became big after you change this form. Deal 1 damage to an enemy, and regain 2 health.
There you go.
And get a card. Huh.
Wow.
Okay, we can do all the stuff. So we got Quake. We throw our skilled investigator down as fodder. We finish off this thing.
Victory. Yeah, victory display.
Nope,
That's
nope.
for 4 victory
Victory
points.
display.
You know, we need those in the campaign.
And then we're gonna Homeland Intervention on the side scheme for 4.
Yeah, I don't think the main scheme's in much trouble.
That's great. Yeah.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah, that resize was really nice. And then drawing in the strength as well.
Yeah, we got a few clutch cards there. Okay. So this is, we're gonna get an encounter card next turn.
Old friend.
Ooh.
Homeland Intervention again. That's gonna really help us.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Okay, so this is our second freebie turn. So we just get 1 threat on the main scheme.
Yep.
Attacks plus 2, so she's at 4, and we throw Ironheart in the way.
Yep.
All right. Oh, sweet! Finally got a thing that actually makes this scenario a pain in the butt. So that's good.
Oh, we haven't tried to stun or confuse her yet.
Well, we had her with the 1 stun
yeah.
from Mockingbird
yeah,
early,
that's right.
early,
We had to get rid of
which
our
actually
wrist,
saved our butt, right?
so we haven't had that
no,
power yet.
All right, and now we get an encounter card. Didn't miss anything.
We get another encounter card as well from Hall of Nashon.
Oh yeah, thank you. So villain. So that was the other encounter card. Now we're going to get the boost card for the scheme. The scheme is 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so this could tip over if we get another one, and there is another advance in there.
Oh no, I don't like to hear that. Okay. We cannot ready. But we are presently ready, so it's okay. Everything's okay.
Good turn. Good turn to draw a Homeland Intervention. Potentially.
I'll say.
Well, we're kind of on the
Okay,
wrong
so what's
side
going
for
on
that.
here?
So we can't get over to Alter Ego if we want to do a bunch of threat removal.
Well, if you did Homeland Intervention to get the 2 off, I see what you're saying, the 12 on the main scheme. That's the issue if we flip down.
Well, we could, for example, use Quake and Ant-Man and deal with that one. Right.
Yeah.
But I think giving up the activation.
Yeah, I was thinking that as
probably...
the flip, and I was thinking that as the flip and Quake would get Hall of Nashon.
Like, I think I'm probably less worried about losing our Ant-Man activation. Because the benefits of just flipping back and forth between small and big, even if you're stuck exhausted, is probably right. Not getting forced with another scheme that we can't really stop at this point, or get that threat down to small enough that it's not totally scary.
Biggest worry in case we get another chain.
Yeah, we can also pick up Odin when we defeat this game, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
3, 6 health.
3 and 4, 2 and 3. Okay, so
that could put us in a really good position to end next turn if we use our activation on Ant-Man to attack. and then the flip does the threat.
The flip
Does that make
does
sense?
the flip does the threat.
Yeah, flip and quake. Take that to side scheme. We use our damage from Ant-Man because we can do more damage than we can thwart with our basic activation.
And we can potentially use the Sky Destroyer for another 2 damage.
Yeah, we'll also get a card from Skilled Investigator. Then we'll probably also get another card from Pim Particles.
Yeah.
So we're gonna draw 3 cards this turn.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to small, we're not going to Alter Ego. That's the name of the game. But
yeah, scheming seems scary.
but Gondo, the thing you're currently advocating for is to use our activation for an attack, not for a thwart.
A little bit, yes. I do admit.
In part because what we have in our hand is actually a decent bunch of stuff that can do some thwarting.
In part because I'm doing some math telling me that
get her down to...
we can win next turn.
We
And
can win next turn.
League.
Yeah, and it's not Spell the Champions League, so
Right,
we can have it
yeah.
on 17 for them on the main scheme for all I care.
Yeah.
We don't have Daddy Innsmouth Bear to scold us for too much threat.
So this will be 3, 4, 5.
I think maybe we'll still play Sky Destroyer and Homeland Intervention with Surveillance Team and Sky Destroyer to protect us from an advance.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the thwarting we need to do this turn.
Well, and we're not going to get a second advance, right? So that's the other part is.
Right.
No, this is the first turn. We're going to roll a die. Okay. I still think this is less likely to hose us. But hold on. We're going to have 2 allies for blocking. Like, is setting up next turn for a possible win worth possibly just getting hosed on? Like, she has probably 1 more treachery that allows her to scheme in here. That's what I'm a bit worried if she gets a double scheme.
Yeah, let me count.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of
It's 2
6
Queen of
versus
Hells.
8
I've
on
seen
the
those
main
both
scheme.
because that's
the
her
way I
attack
see
and
it.
scheme card. Oh, well, no, that's not a scheme. If we're in a hero, it's not a scheme. It's an attack. So maybe just the advance.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
just the advance.
Okay, so then we're not really in a situation where we could lose by
Yeah, because
okay.
from my path, we'd have 8 on the main scheme. It would flip to 9. Then the max it could be is, counting for the Loffies in the discard pile, 7, so that would go to 16. Which is a legitimate value.
Right. We flip to small.
No, excellent.
Remove 1 threat
price for.
And okay. Hive Mind. There's some more thwart if we wanted.
Sure.
Which might be better than the Sky Destroyer actually. Okay, and then
probably thwart with Quake to see another card.
You want to thwart with Quake and get Odin.
Get Odin and see a card from Skilled Investigator.
So this goes. First player detaches Odin from the main scheme, takes control, deal each player 1 face down card. Forgot about that. So it's not each other player, it's each player.
Oh.
In this case.
Okay, so we're still getting 2, but.
Okay, so then we
there's
got
only 1.
Odin. And then. Okay, we've done all that. So looking at our hand.
Draw up a Skilled Investigator.
Oh, did I not do that already? Thank you. Army Advance. Funny.
Fantastic. Love that card.
So we know we're going to Homeland Intervention.
We can play Army Advance, still play Sky Destroyer, and play Homeland Intervention.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So, right, Sky Destroyer with Pim Particles gets us. I mean, Army Advance is just going to be two more net damage. I mean, it is more or less sets us up for. We still have to come up with some damage next turn, but Odin can probably, right? So we've got 1, 2. Odin can do 3 next turn, which will be 3, and then we'll have 3 army advance. And we're gonna flip up. No, we don't even need the army advance.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe we can get a double resource and be able to play Hive Mind. If we spend Ready to Rumble, Pin Particles, and Army Advance. Wait, can we hit a double resource with 3 cards? I forget what we have in the discard.
Yeah, the second pass through. So we've got Genius, we've got Energy, and we got Strength. No.
Okay, so we can't hit that. So Hive Mind's out of the question.
And then Hive Mind, let's double check. So it's 2 plus. So this could be, if we just did Army Advance and Hive Mind, that could be 5 instead of our Homeland Intervention 4.
Or we could play Hive Mind. We could play Army Advance, Hive Mind, and Homeland Intervention, and just do Homeland Intervention.
And not bother with Sky Destroyer. That's the big thing, right? We could not bother with Sky Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only for the shield trade.
Yeah, right.
Okay, double Homeland Intervention, which does not do anything.
I was hoping that might be Global Logistics.
Right, then we would be very excited. Okay, so then we Hive Mind.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Odin's gives you 3, right? We haven't done that.
We win right now.
Can we win?
Yeah, Odin gives us 3.
So we Sky Destroyer.
We Sky Destroyer, Home Intervention, Exhaust. I guess Surveillance Team if you really want to. And then Sky Destroyer and Odin hits it.
All right. Well.
Screw the villain phase.
The dice.
Way to say hold on so that we actually did that. Okay.
Do you remember when we had 1 health?
All right. What a victory.
Remember that part?
Wow.
Yeah. Do I remember when we actually could have lost? Yes.
On like turn 2.
But we kind of knew that we had created some trouble for ourselves because we did a deck archetype that needed build up, a character that needs build up, and we were going to punish ourselves for hanging out and building up. So that was good. We made some good choices to set this up to be fun, right?
Yeah, that was in my opinion,
they earned their stripes for both best design scenario and also most fun hero.
That was very fun. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I mean, once Ant-Man's rolling, it definitely, I like how they mitigate the 4 hand size by getting that extra draw when you flip back.
And we seem to be really spacing our resizes.
He still has an effective hand size of 5.
2 out of 3 turns, we were getting that resize and keep flipping back and forth.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of lucky draws
and also that one
from our side, and not dying was also pretty lucky.
That turn we were hit for 3, and
we did have an opportunity to die.
The 4 boost icon cards. I think that was also really clutch. Lucky. Super fun. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. You too. That was really, really fun. I'm glad you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, maybe we'll make this an off-season tradition. We'll pay attention to kind of what the most recent Grandmasters Arena things had been, and see what sort of fun
we're doing
we can cook up based
best
on
card
that.
Right
that
now,
seems like a really fun thing to do.
The best card had been kind of predictable.
Yeah, this was a great time.
But we'll figure out some fun wrinkles in it. Side schemes is one thing I haven't done yet. Yeah.
Greg, before we go, Greg, that's what I was going to say. Greg, before we go, I'm not asking you what they are, but like how many future
plotted out? There has to be a massive side scheme one, because there's so many and we haven't touched those yet.
I don't know. We'll just have like mini tournaments of like the different phases, like set is its own tournament, and each of the campaign boxes are their own or something like that. But that's the one place we haven't touched yet, and but like that's a tricky one because you can do most punishing, but then I think there's some pretty obvious candidates if you do like the hardest. And best design is not as there's just less design space in 6-card encounter set. So I'm open for suggestions on what to grade the side schemes on, but after we do best cards, I think that's the next one.
I think I have a really good one for you. I think it's worst side scheme that you can pull with one way or another and still clear.
Oh, right. So side scheme. Oh, that's the other thing, right? Because we haven't done either just minions specifically or side scheme specifically. I was thinking like So yeah, there's lots because counter set, side schemes, minions. We also right. That's sorry.
Oh,
I said side scheme.
Oh yeah, you haven't really done encounter sets either.
Encounter sets is what I was thinking of first.
One that could maybe
side scheme specifically could be a great one. I also think there's a fun one to do with like just best art. It's more of a fun one, but less play specific. It's mainly just because I like Spider Pig biting the shoe on the Plan B card. I just want that one to win.
Well, I mean, I love that card, but I think there's also maybe some neat
campaign specific
campaign
stuff
elements
is another one we can play with. The sinister motive experience tree versus the market in Galaxy's Most Wanted and that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's some fun things to do.
Well, and even just pitting like the things that in Sinister Motives, the equipment that you get from the heroes.
Yeah, I like doing like big, longer tournaments where they're sort of
whatever there is
chained together. So like right now we're just in the middle of doing leadership. Best leadership card is tomorrow going to end, and then we're going to go to justice and aggression after that. And then we do hero cards, best hero cards after that. And then we have 8 winners, and we do the all best card of all time championship. So that's the plan for basically August. And so then I want to do like shorter ones in between. That's when we did like best hero and best aspect and stuff like that. Those are quick. Best hero is also one that's going to be fun to do like once a year. Right now already, since I've done it, we have Spider and Spider Pig and Nova and those guys. So that'll be interesting to see how the new heroes flesh out.
Well, I think if you're going to do some art stuff, I think that could be a really fun way to have some decisions made for us, right? It's not about, best designed or worst, most difficult or anything like that. It's, having to build a justice deck with
that's
the hero with the best art and a bunch of the justice cards that have best art or whatever.
Yeah, with best art, it'll give you a
what's
chance
also fun about that is making a deck with the best cards, I think will be less interesting, right? Because it'll be a pretty powerful deck. But if you have a deck of good art cards that don't synergize at all with each other, that'll be a big challenge to play. Yeah.
No, that seems like a really fun one, right? It's like you basically get a sealed deck equivalent sort of thing, not Gondo's like poo-poo platter.
I like that idea. And so maybe we'll do best art after we finish the best card tourney, and that should easily be done before we're done with next season.
Okay, that seems like a fun goal. We might not accomplish it for this next season, but that seems like a fun goal. All right, well, thank you. I don't know, did we lose Gondo right at the last second there?
No, someone else joined the Discord and then left.
Great. Okay, cool. Well, thanks you two. We'll keep in touch and
hopefully the folks in the community like it.
Yeah, and thanks everybody who tuned in and made it to the very end of us having our rambling.
Awesome.
Cool. It's kind of the fun stuff too. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Thanks again for setting this up. This is fun.
Awesome.